Thank you, Chairman.
Vote of thanks.
Madam Speaker and Mr. Chairman, thank you. And first of all, allow me to welcome Her Excellency, Ms. Valentina Matvenko. I hope I'm pronouncing this name perfectly, because I hear everybody calling you only by your first name. So welcome to Pakistan, to Islamabad, and our Chamber of, as you call it, the House of the Regions and the Federation. It reflects your chamber as well. To all our distinguished parliamentarians, cabinet members, and other colleagues present here, I think we all agree, Madam Speaker, that Pakistan and Russia don't have a young relationship. We have an old, enduring bond. And I say this from my heart because I remember as a little girl reading, looking at the Sputnik magazine, also dreaming of going to see the Bolshoi Ballet one day. And of course I did manage. That's the first thing I did when I got there, to go to the Bolshoi. So your great country's past, its history, its gravitational cultural power has had a profound impact on many students, on intellectual minds, and even political trends in Pakistan. As I said, our relationship didn't begin yesterday, but we hope to strengthen it to new levels across the board. And we really, Madam Speaker, appreciate your coming to Pakistan, but also to this chamber, to share your thoughts with us, to share your time with us, and to bring to Pakistan your valuable insights that we have been hearing across several meetings, as well as your deputies and committee chairpersons that have accompanied you on this trip. I commend you, Madam Speaker, for bringing this kind of august delegation, because this is truly an enhancement of ties between two parliaments. And parliaments, Madam Speaker, as you know, can do what governments often cannot. They bring the power of the people to any task, and that is where we can apply our minds, our critical mass, and good politics to breaking down any problem, solving any challenge, overcoming any hurdle, and bringing two countries together in an era, as you mentioned, of great change, of great tumult, and transformational energies in the world, from artificial intelligence to many things. You have mentioned, Madam Speaker, in your address that you have thought of Pakistan many times. You have thought of Pakistan's women many times, and you appreciated many women in the Senate, in the provinces, and you took time out to appreciate my leader, my great leader, Benazir Bhutto Shaheed, who died facing the sun, facing challenges that very few men could withstand. She was the ultimate political icon for Pakistan, for South Asia, and for the Muslim world. As twice elected Prime Minister, I'm proud to represent her party here, as is the Chairman Senate of Pakistan, Mr. Yusuf Raza Gilani. But we're all friends here, we're all colleagues. As a barrister says here, that we disagree, we often fight. I hope we don't fight more. I hope we use this opportunity when countries can speak to each other and not at each other, that we too can bridge many divides in the spirit of civilization, comity, and gathering together like we have done today. Madam Speaker, your visit to us is not a ceremonial one only. To us, it is, as everyone said, a great milestone in our relationship, because it embodies both our countries' collective commitment to democratic ideals, dialogue, multilateral engagement, and the fostering of joint goals which have been talked about across the board today. It also reflects our shared belief that through dialogue and legislative cooperation, we can foster partnerships that transcend political boundaries and bring our people closer together. In today's complex global environment, Madam Speaker, parliaments and multilateral forums like the SCO play a pivotal role in bridging differences. This is a very divided, polarized world, and I think advancing mutual understanding and strengthening trust between nations is a great project that your country has also undertaken. We congratulate you on your coming here, and I also want to say that it was touching to hear you note our great poets, Faiz Ahmad Faiz. I also want to take this opportunity to say that we have a connection between our two nations, as I said, in literature, philosophy, and art. Russia's literary giants are studied here, believe it or not. Leo Tolstoy and Fyodor Dostoevsky are studied here in great length. I run a book club called the Dostoevsky Club, and we have many great evenings listening to your music, your ballet, your culture. But today, we have come to a place in history, both for Pakistan and Russia, where we can take Eurasia forward. Eurasia is a rising power. Your country crosses many regional connectivity opportunities when we talk about ties for sharing energy, agriculture, technology, and all the opportunities we can find for trade and economic cooperation. It is a century for trade, it is a century for economic power, and we all can maximize benefits by bringing parliaments together. And I firmly believe that the friendship between Pakistan and Russia, anchored in dialogue, cooperation, and mutual trust, will continue to thrive and evolve for our well-being and prosperity for both our people. Madam Speaker, I'm confident that your important visit will be in front of us as a landmark that will turn Parliament's history for both. I would suggest that we deepen our bonds through all the chairpersons you have brought with you. Perhaps we could share notes with the chairpersons, corresponding chairpersons here. That would be a great, I think, productive outcome, perhaps at your dinner, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, or at any other opportunity. The visit is short. I'm sure it is already scripted and planned for, but I think this is an excellent opportunity that chairpersons of committees have come here all the way, and we must use this opportunity to cooperate and enhance our ties. Thank you very much for your patience and time. Welcome again.
I recognize the presence of MNAs Mr. Nabil Gabol, Abdul Qadir Gilani, Naveed Ahmed Jiva, Seher Kamran in the gallery. And for Mr. Senator Ali Zafar, about fight, I just say when we agree to disagree, it's democracy. Now I request Senator Amal Wali Khan, Parliamentary Party Leader of Awami National Party and convener of Pakistan-Russia Parliamentary Friendship Group, to present vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Speaker, Valentina Matvienko, distinguished members of the Russian delegation, honorable senators, excellencies, it is a great personal pleasure and a rare privilege to convey our profound greetings and sentiments of bonhomie to our distinguished guests as memento of abiding friendship and love from the Pakistani Parliament, the political and parliamentary leadership, and our whole nation. Madam Speaker, we are grateful to you and the members of your delegation for honoring us with your visit. I am confident that this valuable interaction and exchange of ideas between parliamentarians from the two sides would go a long way in further enriching, diversifying, and deepening fraternal Pakistan-Russia relationships. Madam Speaker, your visit marks a historic headway in furthering Pakistan-Russia relations and cooperation. I am buoyed by absolute confidence that together we can lay the foundation for an even stronger partnership in the future to realize commonly cherished ideas of peace, development, progress, innovation, enlightenment, and harmony. The bonds of friendship and cooperation that we have renewed during your visit will enrich and deepen our bilateral, inter-parliamentary, economic, investment, and trade linkages. Madam Speaker, it's a very proud day for me today. Talking about 100 years old history, I am a proud hire standing in front of you right now. Let's remember my great-grandfather and my grandfather, Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Khan Abdul Wali Khan, who both are now late, who just for this ideology and mindset that we must have friendly relationships with our neighboring country, regional countries, have been labeled traitors in Pakistan, as we said before, have been labeled agents of Russia, and in Pakistan, we and you both have been called the red non-Muslims, and I'm proud of that today, that Pakistan is moving in the direction where we asked them to move 50 years ago. The only reason we had to struggle for the 50 years taking Russia was our idea of having friendship with regional and neighboring countries. Taking this privilege, I request the chair to extend hands towards all neighboring countries. We must have a friendship criteria before everything. We must have good friendship with India. We must have good friendship with Afghanistan. We must have good friendship with Iran, China, Russia, and we must promote dialogues between these countries. Madam Chairman, I, as the chairman of Awami National Party, would like to bring it in your notice that in my headquarters in Peshawar, Bacha Khan Markaz, we have had an exchange of poetry between Russia and Pukhtuns. Alexander Pushkin's statue is there in Bacha Khan Markaz, where anyone can go and find it, and the ambassador knows it very well. And in return, our national poet, Khan Abdul Ghani Khan, his statue is there in Russia, and this shows the tie between Russia and Awami National Party and the Pushtun nation. Madam Chairman, just to remind everyone, in 80s, we had a students exchange program where people from Awami National Party, the Pukhtuns, used to be sent to Russia where they would study on scholarship, and at this moment there are thousands and thousands of Pukhtuns living in Russia, living their lives over there after that program, and we would love that program to be reinitiated, and we would love student exchange programs and some more technical programs over there. Madam Speaker, history is history, but we cannot live in history. We must learn from history, and then we must move on. History might be brutal. Let me state that. Sitting and standing in my country, have to face a lot of troubles. But again I say, history might be brutal. But Madam Speaker, as I said, we have to learn lessons and we have to move on. And your visit and this delegation's visit to Pakistan shows that yes, we are moving on And countries or nations decide with their minds, not with their hearts. We have to leave our hearts aside, and minds at this time says that you need us and we need you. Russia needs Pakistan and Pakistan needs Russia, and this bilateral relation is the need of the hour, was the need of the hour, and will be the need of the hour. Whatever, Madam Speaker, is happening is our dream. My ancestors, with hundreds of thousands of workers, dreamt to have a good relationship with Russia as a country and Russia as a nation. We must work at every level to make these bonds strong. May it be between country to country, or may it be between nations to nations. We must work on nations to nations relations. We must work on business. We must work on trade. We must have expertise exchange program. We must have technical exchange program. And as Madam Chairman, I said, we must work at every level to make the bonds between Russia and Pakistan the strongest bonds that people must narrate to. Madam Chairman, we, as the preachers of non-violence, we, the Awami National Party, as the preachers of peace, and as I consider myself or the ideology as allies to the Russian Federation in Pakistan in the past 50 or 60 years, I request you, I would never want to hurt the sentiments, but I want to become the voice of the voiceless. Madam, it's a request, a humble request, that the war must end. There must be an end to the Ukraine war. And Madam, it's a voice of the voiceless. War never brings love. War brings hatred. War brings disharmony. And every matter must be solved across the table. Madam Speaker, it will be a lovely gesture if we can have this as a present to this Pakistan or the Republic of Pakistan, and this war comes to an end, because, Madam, we and you all must promote love. We must promote non-violence. We must condemn what the violent countries are doing. We must condemn what Israel is doing. We must condemn what Israel, backed by the US, is doing. War is not in favor of anyone. The world must put an end to the war, and we and you must put together our voices for or against the brutality of Israel, what Israel is doing in the world. Supported and backed by the US of A, we must put an end to it. We must put a foot down in it, that there must not be any war. And if our lovely life or our peace is disturbed, we must join our hands together for peace to be supported and put back. I would also like to congratulate the government of Russia on the successful conclusion of the BRICS summit. And Madam Speaker, we, Pakistan, would love to be part of your summit. We would love to be part of the BRICS. And it's again voice of all Pakistan nation that you put our word ahead, and Pakistan must be part of the BRICS. I would also request the government of Russia to consider the installation of a small atomic power station in Pakistan, which is already in process. And as I've been to Russia, and I know what a lovely country, what a lovely nation, working on 100 regional languages. My God, we cannot work on one language. Russia is working on 100 regional languages, and I salute that country just because of this. Ma'am, it also reflects our shared belief that through dialogue and legislative cooperation, we can nurture partnerships that transcend political boundaries and bring our people closer together. I am confident that our parliamentary ties will also continue to flourish with more such exchanges, so as to share good practices and expertise for mutual benefit. Madam Chairman, on this note, I once again welcome and greet Your Excellency in our midst, confident that the friendship between Pakistan and Russia would grow from strength to strength and generation to generations in year to come. I thank you.
Your permission, Madam Speaker, he was in the hospital and he was not well, Mr. Amal Wali Khan. And the leader of the BAP party, Balochistan Awami Party, he was the one who had to speak. If you allow, 2 minutes should I give it to him, because you are already late for the dinner and you have a hectic day, the whole day. I'll request for 2 minutes to Mr. Manzoor Kakar.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Speaker. आपके साथ आए हुए आपके मेंबर्स डेलीगेशन में मैं इस अपर हाउस में सबको खुश आमदीद कहता हूं। मैडम स्पीकर, आज आपने जो तकरीर की, आपने साबित कर दिया एक चीज़ को कि ज़िंदा कौमें जो ज़िंदा रहती है वो अपने सकाफ़त को, अपने कल्चर को, अपने ज़ुबान को प्रमोट करते हैं। आज आपने इस हाउस में आके अपनी ज़ुबान में तकरीर करके जो महज़ब कौमें होती हैं, जो ज़िंदा कौमें होती हैं, आज आपने सबूत यहाँ पे दिया। और ऐसे कौम जो अपने कल्चर को, अपने ज़ुबान को, अपने सकाफ़त को प्रिज़र्व करते हैं, वो कौमें तारीख़ में याद रखी जाती हैं। जिन कौमों ने अपने सकाफ़त को, अपने तारीख़ को, अपने ज़ुबानों को छोड़ा है, वो कौमें बहुत पीछे रह गई है। क्योंकि मेरा अपनी कौमी ज़ुबान उर्दू है, अगर मैं इसकी पहचान न रखूं दुनिया में तो शायद फिर मैं अपना नाम और निशान भी भूल जाऊं। मैडम स्पीकर, जब हम आए थे रशिया, सादिक संजरानी साहब उस डेलीगेशन को लीड कर रहे थे। आपके साथ जो मीटिंग्स थी मैडम स्पीकर, आपके वो अल्फाज आज तक मुझे याद है। आपने ये बात की थी कि आप, मुझे खुशी हुई कि आप अपनी ज़ुबान को प्रमोट कर रहे हो, आप अपनी सकाफ़त को प्रमोट कर रहे हो। तो आपकी वो बात आज भी मेरे जहन में थी मैडम स्पीकर। तो इस हवाले से उस टाइम सादिक संजरानी साहब ने आपको पाकिस्तान आने की दावत दी थी, और फिर मैं गिलानी साहब का, जो हमारे सेनेट चेयरमैन है, मैं इनका भी शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि इन्होंने आपको लेटर लिखा पाकिस्तान आने के लिए, और फिर मैं आपका और आपके टीम का और रशिया का शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि आपने वो एक्सेप्ट किया, आप आए पाकिस्तान और अपने डेलीगेशन के साथ। एक बार फिर मैं इस पर फ़ख्र करता हूँ मैडम स्पीकर। इस हवाले से बातें तो यहाँ पे बहुत हुई मैडम स्पीकर, जो चंद चीज़ें हैं रीजन के हवाले से मैडम स्पीकर, ख़ासकर मैं ग्वादर की बात रखूँगा। बलूचिस्तान से मेरा ताल्लुक़ है। ग्वादर वन बेल्ट वन रोड जो सेंट्रल एशिया की तरफ इशारा करता है, उस पे जो हमारे एशिया या सेंट्रल एशिया के जो हमारे दोस्त हैं, ममालिक हैं, जितने हमारे दोस्त हमारे साथ आएंगे और इस रूट को कामयाब करेंगे, इसमें पाकिस्तान का नेशन या हमारे हमसाया ममालिक और ख़ासकर सेंट्रल एशिया के हवाले से मैडम स्पीकर, तो ये सब के लिए फ़ायदा होगा इस रीजन में। वो वक्त आ चुका है मैडम स्पीकर कि हम रशिया, जो बाकी हमारे ममालिक के, हम मिल के इस रीजन के लिए, अवाम के लिए हम काम कर सके मैडम स्पीकर। जैसे यहाँ पे ब्रिक्स की बात हुई, आपसे हम रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं, दोस्तों ने भी की, प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने भी ये बात रखी थी, सुबह चेयरमैन साहब ने भी ये बात रखी थी, अगर उसका हिस्सा पाकिस्तान को मेंबर बनाया जाए तो ये बहुत अच्छी बात होगी। क्योंकि हम आपसे इसी फोरम पे, हर फोरम पे ही रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे, जैसे कि SCO के हवाले से यहाँ पे कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था, मैं यहाँ पे जितने हमारे बड़े बैठे हुए हैं, वज़ीर आज़म साहब, हमारे एहतियाती, जो एक कामयाब कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ और जो पाकिस्तान का एक बहुत अच्छा इमेज चला गया, और वहाँ पे आपके प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब भी तशरीफ़ लाए थे, और वहाँ पे जो MIOs साइन हुए थे, मैं चेयरमैन सेनेट साहब से यही रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा, जो मुआहदे साइन हुए हैं होना तो ये चाहिए कि उस मुआहदे पे, जो मुआहदे हुए हैं उस पे काम हो, कि जल्द हमारा ट्रेड हो और हमारी जो दोस्ती है, जो पुरानी दोस्ती है, उसको दोबारा हम फहाल कर सके। मिस्टर चेयरमैन साहब, मैडम स्पीकर, यहाँ पे एयरलाइन की बात हुई थी, ये भी हम रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि एक डायरेक्ट एयरलाइन जो कार्गो है या एयरलाइन है वो डायरेक्ट रशिया के लिए शुरू हो जाए, तो ये भी इस मुल्क की दोस्ती में और हमारे ताल्लुकात में मज़ीद इजाफा भी करेगा। मैडम स्पीकर, उसके साथ साथ जहाँ पे आपने ऑयल की बात की, गैस की बात की, एग्रीकल्चर की बात की, अगर हम इस तरह इकट्ठे हो के हम आगे चलेंगे तो ये दोस्ती और मुफीद होगी, हमारे ताल्लुकात और मजबूत होंगे, और हमारे जो सफारती ताल्लुकात है उसको भी हमने और मजबूत करना है। यहाँ फेडरेशन हो, रशिया का फेडरेशन हो, हम यहाँ से आके डेलीगेशन, वहाँ से डेलीगेशन आके अगर हम इस तरह अपने व्यूज़ एक्सचेंज करेंगे तो हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं। मैडम स्पीकर, और इसके साथ साथ जो हमारे चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स है, जो हमारे बिजनेसमैन कम्युनिटी है, उसको भी जो है ना हम रशिया हमें भेजना चाहिए, और वहाँ की जो कम्युनिटी है यहाँ आनी चाहिए। जो हम चाहते हैं, जो हमारी सोच है, जो हमारी फ़िक्र है कि हम अपने ट्रेड, अपनी दोस्ती, अपने सकाफत, इन तमाम चीज़ों को आगे ले चलेंगे, तो उसका रास्ता यही है। मैडम स्पीकर, इस हवाले से जैसे हमारा रीजन है, इसमें जो आर्म्स की दौड़ है, इसके हवाले से जो हमारा SCO जो कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ था, उसका मेन एजेंडा भी यही था कि जो एशिया है इसमें अमन के हवाले से, खुशहाली के हवाले से अगर हम इस पे ज़्यादा काम करेंगे तो हमारे जो न्यू जनरेशन है, जैसे उसके ऊपर बात हुई यहाँ पे, जो हमारे डॉक्टर्स हैं, जो हमारे इंजीनियर्स हैं, वहाँ आएंगे, उसके लिए स्कॉलरशिप होगा। तो इस हवाले से मैडम स्पीकर, हम आपसे यही रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि इस जो आपका यहाँ का दौरा है, इसको हमने यहाँ पे ख़त्म नहीं करना है, इसको हमने आगे ले जाना है, हमने आगे इस पे काम करना होगा। एक बार फिर आप तमाम दोस्तों का शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। थैंक यू।
I wanted to give time to each and every senator because of the constraint of time. I apologize. I am not being able to give floor to most of the members who wanted to speak. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The House stands adjourned to meet again on Tuesday, 29th October 2024 at 11 a.m.